I'm Danielle Walker, senior reporter at SC Magazine, and I'm here with John McCormack. He's the CEO of Websense. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Good. Thanks for being with us. So he's going to talk about Internet of Things threats in the industry skill shortage. But first, Websense has done a bit of research on IoT threats. So what have you guys found, as it pertains to certain sectors being more vulnerable, and if we can expect some type of increase in the threats?
Absolutely. So we've been thinking about what it means to be prepared for the Internet of Things from a security perspective. And from our work, it really requires us to look at three angles of this problem. One, the devices that we introduce in our environments and their vulnerabilities and their ability to host threats. Number two, the protocols and the data and the communication flows that this is going to create inside of environments, and the opportunity for the cyber criminals to use those communication channels as venues for establishing command and control and infiltrating networks. And number three, you got to think about all the data that the Internet of Things is going to create, and can we keep that secure? Mm-hmm. And so our research has been around trying to look at the opportunities and look at the issues in the security industry with addressing those three challenges in the Internet of Things.
Mm-hmm. And how is that going to tie in with the demand right now for more people in the workforce?
Well, if you look at today's environment, you got to ask yourself, why are we in the news every day with a breach, right? And the Internet of Things clearly is just going to create additional demands and burdens on security teams that today, number one, are understaffed. They can't find the people that they need. By some estimates, there's a shortage of 1 million people. I can tell you from talking to hundreds of CISOs and CIOs, they all have openings on their security teams. But number two, when you ask them how are they filling those gaps, they're typically replacing skilled security people with less skilled security people. So we end up with this skills shortage. And that's in today's environment. As we go forward and we try and address the connectivity required for introducing the Internet of Things, that's going to place a significant burden on overtaxed security teams today.
Okay, got it. And how about some of these apps that will be on mobile devices, or even the smartwatches are saying that will collect, health data even? How should the industry respond to that looking forward?
Right, that's a great question. I think from a security perspective, in the medical field and the healthcare field, I think is where we're really going to first see the wave of the Internet of Things. And, today in hospitals, for example, you see, these intelligent machines that have diagnostics and hookups to share the information, to get diagnostic information into and out of these machines effectively. And what we've seen over the last year is nearly a 600% increase in the threats against hospitals, right, and medical professions. And you have to ask yourself why. Well, number one, that's where the money's at, right? When you look at healthcare scams, when you look at the IRS scams, this all requires PII information, which hospitals are rich in, right? Then you have hospitals putting in devices, smart devices that quote the Internet of Things devices. You talk to those professionals in these environments, and they're not certain about putting too much security control in there because these are life-saving devices. And so they tend to keep them more open and not disrupt the security communication with security. And that's opening up the attack surface of these environments. You almost have the perfect storm. Mm-hmm. You have high value information, you got a proliferation of smart Internet of Things devices, and you got security technologies that need to evolve faster and further than they are today to really deal with those devices and give certainty to the administrators that they're not going to disrupt a life-saving device with security.
Again, you just heard from John McCormack, CEO of Websense, and make sure you tune in next time because we got more in store for you at scmagazine.com.